Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure, we're doing our summer 2021 designer walkthrough of Fantasyland. This is a land that's changed a little bit in its corners, but the heart has remained the same. Let's take a lap and notice everything that has changed since the last time we visited Fantasyland back in May, when the park had just been open for only a few days.
On the eastern edge of Fantasyland, you'll find Pixie Hollow. One part meet and greet with Tinkerbell and crew, but also one part visual story break between Tomorrowland to the east and Fantasyland to the west, using scale not only to transform the story of shrinking down to pixie size, but using tall blades of grass as a visual barricade. So if someone were to look over past the park-like planters that surround it, the blades of grass would keep you from penetrating with your eyes what is on the other side. Is Pixie Hollow a place full of pixies, or is it a very clever barricade to not see Tomorrowland? Hong Kong Disneyland also shares a Pixie Hollow, which in Disneyland's rich history was once part of Tomorrowland, when this was the home of Masanto's House of the Future, which was not nearly as hidden as Pixie Hollow is today. In fact, in this planter, right where you see the tallest tree, that's where the House of the Future used to reside, illustrating how Disney over the years moved this area's attractions more east to open up more room for the parade path, which is where I'm standing, but at the same time giving plenty of space for Pixie Hollow to hide away on the other side of this well-manicured garden, which allows Disney to create a pitch shift, placing Pixie Hollow up on top of a stage on this grade. At one time, this was Alpine Gardens, an area to snack and sit and watch folks go by. In the late 80s, it transformed to Ariel's Grotto, and in 2008 became Pixie Hollow. Each time this area has transitioned, it has become more and more removed, more hidden, more secret, less noisy. The cynics and the critics will always tell you Disneyland is a simple cash grab, and in many ways, they are superior in their economic efficiencies. However, the fact that Disneyland will always be a well-groomed and pruned perfect park or garden, and the Imagineers and management will place Pixie Hollow in this place. Instead of a shop, a food stand, a loud, obnoxious spinner ride with characters and music all around it, it shows that even though they are clearly here to make a buck, and they make a few of those, but at the same time, they also distinctly care about the Disneyland story, which is half legend and half all of the visuals that you see around you. This hidden gem spaces out the fun and hides what needs to be hidden, and shines to those that dig a little bit deeper to find its hidden treasure. If it's not roped off, if it doesn't say cast members only, it's inviting you to discover what lies ahead. The old saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone, has been my personal motto at Disneyland. Just having this waterfall back on, pouring down the rain and water sounds, while in the distance, both the Yeti and the fans are screaming, illustrates why the entrance to the Matterhorn is cleverly placed in the back of the attraction, because all of the visual and audio candy will make you explore this mountain and find where you can partake in the fun. It's pretty crazy that the entrance is hidden in the back. Most people wouldn't take that creative gamble.
With the construction walls gone, Matterhorn back to life, it adds so much energy to what was becoming a very, very quiet part of the eastern side of Disneyland. But now, as you can see, full of animation as this attraction comes together. The Matterhorn not only adding in those epic sounds of the mountain, but the screams of guests having a great time on Disneyland's first ever roller coaster and the first ever enclosed inside of a mountain roller coaster. An epic moment in Disney's ride design detailing.
When you think about placing the entrance back on this Fantasyland corridor, it's a very interesting design technique to get people to walk around to the back, to go deeper into the park and to discover more. This area fills up with people, which was so different when we had the construction walls around it back in May when the park first opened on April 30th. It literally brought all of the life out of this back corridor, showing how important the design was to bring people around the back to keep people going further into the park.
What becomes of this area of the pass, where we have all of these fast pass machines, with Disney moving over to a non-paper system, expecting everybody to have Genie on their mobile phone to be able to do fast passes and day management, all from a personal electronic. This becomes stuff that goes over to Yesterland. What will become of this space and all the other little footprints that were carved out for the fast pass system? It will be very interesting to see. My early prediction: photo ops. Disney loves to take little areas and turn them into photo ops. Could be a nice perk for Magic Key holders.
I am so fascinated to see what Disney will do with some of these areas where they really created a space where there wasn't one before. This is the area where you could get a fast pass for Matterhorn or Small World. These attractions, I can remember a time when they didn't have fast passes associated with them. So this is literally Disney taking the walkways, carving out a space where there wasn't one to create this old system of efficiency. What this space becomes is the type of Disneyland problem solving that I just love.
Soon to be an idea of the past. Definitely something that has changed since we came here in May and did our walk around Fantasyland, seeing lots of more people absorbing the quiet spots. And friends, this is being filmed on the Quiet Before the Storm. The Magic Keys drop tomorrow, putting an annual pass program back inside of Disneyland, giving Disney the ability to backfill those softer dates with as many annual passes or key holders as they choose. It's been a very, very interesting, a historic summer. It's all getting ready to become oh so familiar.
The old motorboat cruise called this area home from 1957 to 1983. And in 2007, 2/3 of this body of water was filled up with the landscaping that you see all along its edges here. That created a healthy space between this body of water and the Finding Nemo submarine voyage, which is a freshwater-based lagoon. However, this might blow your mind, but this body of water is part of the Disneyland Green Water System. This water in front of us is the same body of water in a water system shared with Sleeping Beauty's Castle Moat, the rivers in the Jungle Cruise, the rivers of America, and its neighbor, the Storybook Land canals. One of the most mind-blowing details about Disneyland is that one. But this right here, this is the last standing piece of the old motorboat cruise. Yeah, just the dock is left. And today we know it as Fantasia Gardens. And I love how Disneyland's rich history leaves these treasures behind for us. No one would know that this area, which is one of my favorite spots in the entire park, isn't a part of Walt's master plan. It makes so much sense and it feels very naturally placed here. I mean, keep in mind, Disneyland was a flat farm when Walt bought the land. So the elevation difference between Fantasia Gardens and Small World up the hill, that was designed by Disneyland. The height difference makes one feel hidden and the other feel celebrated. Each plot of land better supports the plot of the story and the function that that land contributes to the Disneyland story. I know this quiet spot is a happy accident, but for now, I'm equally excited that this quiet jewel exists, and it's fitting to have a place to sit and dream while being inside of Fantasyland.
Definitely is going to be interesting. When can we hear that sweet, sweet sound of a monorail cruising into town?
I guess the craziest thing to happen to the Small World area over the summer was the movie premiere that was here not too long ago. I was standing right in this spot with so many other fans waiting to see The Rock walk by. Soon, nearly 1 million lights will be floating all across the beautiful Raleigh Crump and Mary Blair front facade of It's a Small World. For 24 years now, ignoring 2020, the holiday transformation of It's a Small World has been a Southern California and Disneyland holiday tradition. But what I might be looking forward to just a little bit more this year is when this area has the first parade since the Thanos snap go down the Disneyland parade corridor, and the return of the epic A Christmas Fantasy Parade. And all the wreaths along the path, all the holiday music everywhere, and the snow raining down from above. I only filmed this walk so we could just see how different it looks during the holidays. Come on, you know it. It's a special magic at Christmas time this year. Part of Christmas fantasy. It goes on and on and on. Yeah, you know, you're ready to hear that song loop like 100 times every single parade. Cannot wait for parade's return. Cannot wait for the holidays to get back to where they need to be in my life and in my Disneyland.
This may be the edge of Fantasyland and the edge of the park that we know today, but this wasn't always the case. Once the Disneyland Railroad ran at a straight line on the north edge of the park, and this expansion was years and years away. It's funny to think that Midget Utopia and the Storybook Canal Boats used to be the outer edge perimeter of Fantasyland and of Disneyland. It seems weird to think about where I'm standing today was once the outer edge of the park. This would be where the Fantasyland depot would be, where you could catch the train to take you back around to the southern side of the park. But yeah, this right in here, this area, at one moment was as far as you could go, not only in Fantasyland, but in all of Disneyland.
So friends, before you take this seating area for granted, or think I've lost my small world mind going on and on about land elevations at Disneyland, take a look at this area in 1969. Notice how flat, how barren, how boring, and how hot it looks. I mean, that poor child is on a stretcher. It looks so hot here in this photograph. This is what Disneyland looks like without grading the land and molding and shifting the land all around it, and without the hidden garden design aesthetic that has become a major part of the Disneyland style guide over the years. Hopefully, now you'll be in love with this area. Maybe not as much as me because I'm full on psycho, but maybe a little baby psycho status of appreciation will come into your heart.
The Small World Mall is one of the best places to step away. I love the different levels here. Really great spot for nighttime shows. Definitely a place worthy to explore. You never know who you're gonna run into.
Hello, I like all the drawings on your arm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
And such a great place to reset your batteries, to take a little recharge.
All right, citizens of Disneyland, because Fantasyland is basically the size of Texas in Disneyland terms, this is where we will stop our designer walkthrough tour today for Fantasyland, covering all the things that have changed in summer 2021, as we have properly covered all of the changes along the eastern edge of Fantasyland. Friends, come back here tomorrow and join me when we work our way through inner Fantasyland, looking at how crowds, flowers, and shops have all changed since Disney opened up on April 30th, as well as a massive update on the evolution and history of the Fantasyland Theater. We'll look back at some of the movie premiere footage that I shot this summer when The Rock showed up in town, and track this huge update on the Fantasyland extension path that transport us all into Toontown. More updates, history, and design talk all coming your way tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to catch all of our designer walkthrough tours.
Friends, I hope you enjoyed our summer 2021 designer walkthrough tour of Fantasyland. Can't wait to do this again in the fall when holidays will take over many parts of Fantasyland, such as Sleeping Beauty's castle, getting her Christmas overlay, and all of the fun that we will find over in It's a Small World. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment below, and subscribing to the channel. All those things will help me to keep on making more designer walkthrough tours, and ring that bell when you do subscribe because I always like to do live streams when I'm at the park. Friends, until the next time I see you hanging out on the edge of Fantasyland, I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disneyland Designer walkthrough tours. Thank you so much to my members of Club1313.com for making today's video and all videos possible.